So in this video, my friends, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get the Microcosm kinetic trace rifle. It's the first kinetic trace rifle. I think it's the first kinetic heavy weapon in general. It packs a punch. It's really good. You can see it has paracausal beam, fires a beam of kinetic energy, dealing massive bonus damage to shields. It looks really cool and it's amazing. First things first, if you guys do enjoy this one, like would be super appreciated. It really helps out the channel. If you don't like it, that's completely fine. Let me know what you dislike so I can improve the content in the future. And let's go ahead and jump straight into this. First things first, though, you're going to have to complete the campaign for the final shape. You can't do anything until you complete the campaign. Once you've done that, we can actually go ahead and continue with the actual main quest line. But again, it's important that you finish the campaign first, or you're not going to be able to proceed with this. Now, it's also going to be starting off with this other quest line called Destined Heroes, which you're going to have to talk to the ghost to get. After you talk to the ghost, you're going to have to interact with this little radio right here. We're actually going to have to do the first section of Destined Heroes, and then after that, it splits off into like a bunch of different quest lines, including Wildcard, which we've already covered on the channel. And then it's going to also split off into this. So we're going to go to the first mission here. It's an adventure. It's going to be to the left of the radio, to the left of the ghost on that tree. Once we start the mission, the way this mission is going to work is there's going to be a bunch of symbols. It's going to be swords that are going to be dropped from knights. You're going to deflect with the L2 or whatever the corresponding button is on your controller, or, keybinds, whatever. And what you're going to want to do is, let's say there's a shrieker, like in this footage here, you're going to deflect the shrieker's void attacks towards the purple symbols. In this case, there's knights shooting orange solar projectiles, so I'm going to project that towards the solar, and you're just going to repeat those mechanics throughout this whole entire quest. Basically, once you get to the very end and there's this boss fight, there's a couple different waves of this boss fight. There's going to be like 3 pillars, and there's going to be orbs on the pillars. There's going to be void, solar, and arc. You're going to pick up the corresponding one and throw it at the symbol that matches the color. It's pretty simple, purple to purple, orange to orange, and then blue to blue, and that's pretty much it. Rinse and repeat, and then once you're done the boss fight, that's going to be it. The mission's going to be complete, and that's going to be that. The boss is just going to leave, by the way. Nothing crazy. You don't actually complete it. Once you are done the mission, it's going to bring you back to this area here. Go interact with the holo projector. You're going to talk to Micah. Micah's going to have these quests. The first one's going to be Convalescence Rootbound, and we're going to have to start this one. This is going to be what we're going to be doing specifically. So once you get the Rootbound quest, you're going to want to find this lost sector right here, which is going to be located over here in the landing. If you go to the kind of bottom right area, you're going to go inside of this lost sector, and we're going to head to the very last area in here to find a special ghost. So the way that this lost sector works, if you don't know, by the way, you got to stand inside of these kind of green little areas, and it's going to activate all these different ads and stuff. You're going to have to kill all of the ads, and once you kill all of the ads, you're going to be able to actually shatter that crystal that's kind of blocked off, and you're just going to rinse and repeat for every kind of section of each room. Again, there's going to be about 3 different green light portal areas you're going to have to stand in. You got to find all 3. Once you find all 3, you can go ahead and you can shoot the crystal, and you can progress through the lost sector. So once you get to this room right here, it's going to be the final room. It's got a big, gigantic tree in the middle. You're going to be coming out from back here. You're going to go to the right of the tree. Now, in this footage, you're not going to see it, but the ghost is going to be located right about here. Just go ahead, interact with the ghost, pick it up, and we can go ahead and go back, return to the holo projector in the lost city. Again, it's not here for me because my son had already picked it up previously. So again, we're going to be going back to the holo projector once we've gotten that ghost. It's going to be hanging out right here. Again, I've already done it, but right here around this tree, you're going to go up to it. You're going to interact with it. There's going to be some dialogue and all the good stuff. And once you're done that, you're going to go back to the holo projector, which again, I've already done, which is why you're not seeing this gameplay. You're going to get a weapon. You're going to interact with the weapon. You're going to get the weapon. You're going to get the next quest, which is going to be Convalescence Underbrush. So that's going to be the next one that we're going to have to do, which was to acquire a flickering blessing mod by opening chests anywhere in the Pale Heart. Pathfinder field assignment chests have a massively higher chance of granting Traveler Blessing mods. So what you're going to want to do next is you're going to open up all these different chests. You can open up chests from defeating kind of high value targets, stuff like that. This is going to be kind of in the public space. You can look around. You can find normal chests. You can do the overthrow the landing. Basically, you got to get a bunch of enemy kills. If you look around at these public event looking kind of spaces, you're going to go do those. They'll spawn chests. This is one of the kind of, normal chests you're going to find. You can actually find a mod pop up in here. You're just going to open up a variety of different chests. It's very RNG. There's a few, like I said, the few different ways that I just mentioned to, you know, get those chests to spawn in. You've seen 2 of them just now. Again, if I was to complete like these little overthrow things, I'll get a chest from this, and eventually they get, you know, bigger and bigger chests. So keep doing that, and eventually you're gonna get some mods. Now, the way mods are gonna work is you're gonna have to get 2 different mods. So make sure that you acquire 2 different ones. Again, a little bit of RNG, just kind of keep at it, and all that good stuff. So another way to find these chests too is if you look at the Pale Heart map, there's these Pale Heart kind of like Pathfinder objectives. You can do those, go to those locations, do whatever the objective is at the location. It could be like killing an enemy or something. That's another way to get a chest. Once you've gotten your two mods, if you will, what you're gonna do is you're gonna open up the map here, and then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over to this little node here. It says Traveler's Blessing. We're gonna click X to apply, and then there is Flickering Blessings. Now these actually, I guess, expire after so long once you've activated them. I've already activated one. This is called Traveler's Fervor. I have basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 available, but only one that I activated. You only need to activate one. If it doesn't work, do whatever the blessing says to do. So for example, in this case, it says sliding after sprinting for a short time sends forth a burning line of fire, dealing damage to scorching targets in its path. So you can activate whatever you want as long as you activate one. If the quest updates, great. If it doesn't, then do whatever it says. So for example, in my case, it'd be sliding. So I'd go ahead, I would slide. See, it activated the actual mod, and then it'll update your quest line. Again, I'd already done this because I didn't think this was part of the exotic quest. That's why you're not seeing the actual stuff on screen of it. After that, we're going to be going over to the back to the Lost City landing zone. We're going to go to the back here to the holo projector, but to the left, right up here by this kind of these sort of, I guess, pink bushes, there's going to be a ghost right here. Interact with that. It's going to update your quest. You're going to go back to the holo projector here. You're going to get a red border machine gun, heavy machine gun. From Micah, you're going to pick up the heavy machine gun, and then you're going to get the next quest, which is going to be called Greenary, which is a little bit more of a kind of quest line, if you will. So I'll try to walk you guys through that a little bit more. So if you track the quest Greenary, eventually it's going to bring you to this location. Again, this is just in the Pale Heart. It's going to bring you to this cave. Just track it. There'll be a marker to follow. Once you get to this cave, you're going to see there's going to be 3 ruins, and whenever you actually get the ruins wrong in the order you shoot them in, enemies will spawn. You got to shoot them in order from top to right, top to bottom. So you see where I'm looking on the door, top to bottom. You just got to match the symbols and shoot the correct ones that you see kind of scattered around the cave, as I'm doing here on screen, and that'll open up the doorway. The main mechanic here, I'm not going to show you guys the entire quest or the entire kind of, you know, area, because it's pretty straightforward. I'll just kind of explain the main mechanics of it. The main mechanics is going to be that you're going to go pick up one of these swords from one of these pedestals. If you ever lose a sword, you're just going to go to one of these pedestals. They're scattered throughout this entire kind of sort of mission area. And you're going to kill the shielded enemies, and you're going to look for these crystals that are shielded, and you're going to basically destroy the crystals with your sword. Again, you have to have the sword to be able to destroy the shields and all that good stuff. Once you destroy all the crystals and any shielded enemies, it should open up the pathway to go to the next area, and then you're going to see some like gunk you got to basically destroy, as you just seen here. Again, there's another pedestal that we could go to if we needed to. You don't have to if you still have your sword. You can just kind of, you know, hold on to it. It's infinite ammo anyways. Look around, just kind of follow your kind of pathway through. Again, every room that you get to, and that there's crystals and shielded enemies, destroy the shielded crystals and any, you know, corresponding enemies. And eventually, once you get through multiple different rooms, you're going to end up at the very end in this kind of final boss room. There's like 3 kind of light bearer, kind of hive enemies or whatever. Remember that when you kill them, you got to press the melee button to grab the ghost that they leave behind and crush the ghost, as you've seen my teammate do just there. So once you've done all 3 of those bosses and you've gotten to the very end, it's going to update your quest. You're going to have to go back to the Lost City Arbor of Light, and we're going to have to place the ghost. Again, the quest is pretty straightforward, so I just wanted to kind of explain the basics to you. If you find anything confusing, leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to kind of respond to it. So we're going to go up to this location here. We're going to investigate. We're going to place a ghost there or whatever, and then we're going to investigate this spot here. Again, it's pretty straightforward. Just kind of follow the markers. There'll be markers right here. And then once you're done that, you're going to go over to the holo projector, and you're going to interact with it. You're going to speak with Micah. You're going to get another red border gun. This time it should be the sniper rifle. That's going to be Greenary completed. And now we're going to be getting the final quest, which is Convalescence Budding, which is, this is going to be probably the hardest one. You got to do 3 separate campaign missions: Ascent, Dissent, and Iconoclasm, which are probably the 3 hardest ones. They're the 3 last missions, story missions. But there's going to be a little bit of a twist. These are going to be cooperative focused. That means there's going to be new mechanics. So I'm not going to be showing you guys the entire run of each of these campaign missions. I've done kind of like let's play style things on my channel if you need to see the normal missions. But what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be explaining the new mechanics specifically in each mission. Again, it's going to be a little bit tricky. It's going to be a power cap of 2005. I was only like 1980 roughly when I went in. It will raise up the power cap of the lower light level guardians in the fire team closer to the one that's higher. So for example, my son, I think, was like 1987. I think I was like a little bit lagging behind. I think it was like maybe 1978 or 79, and it bumped me up like 4 or 5 levels to like 1982 or 1983, a little bit closer to his light level. So if you are a little bit more behind, it'll bump you up at least a few light levels to be closer to your, you know, whoever's the highest light level in the fire team. So that's good. So just keep that in mind. We did pretty okay, you know, with like 1970 to 1980. You don't be too concerned about it. It's not too difficult. But do bring some, you know, weapons that you're going to be, you know, pretty comfortable with. And obviously, you know, healing, you know, builds is obviously good and never hurts. So do that. And we can go ahead and jump into each one of these new missions. So this one's going to be Ascent, and as I've mentioned, there's going to be some new mechanics in these missions. Pay close attention to the mechanics of this mission because they're going to repeat in the second and third missions, but with some, you know, differences maybe here and there. The first thing is going to be these berserkers. So when you first get to this room that you can see me in right here, there's going to be these berserkers that spawn. If you've played, I think it was Deepstone Crypt, if I remember right, you're going to recognize how to kind of deal with these. You're going to have one teammate on the front, one teammate on the back. You're going to get a little bit close and back up outside of that bubble, just so he kind of does his little thing where he does the shield and he puts his chest up. One person's gonna have to shoot him in the crit spot in the back, the other person in the front. That's going to lower his shield, and you're going to be able to attack him and actually do damage. His shield should not go back up at any point. You're just going to keep damaging him. He's just going to kind of teleport around. Once you do that, there's going to be these 2 switches. Again, this is something that's going to be repeating through these 3 missions. These switches right here, you can see there's kind of like an orange stream pointing over to another direction. There's actually 2 switches you got to synchronize and shoot at the same time. If you don't do that, if you do it incorrectly, if you shoot only one switch or like way off time, then the berserker is going to respawn. You have to kill him again. So I'm going to show you guys. You see where the first switch was right there. The second one's over here. You're going to, you know, communicate with your teammate. All right, let's shoot it now. It is pretty forgiving, so it doesn't have to be like the exact millisecond, you know, shooting at the exact same time, but you want to shoot it in generally the same window, obviously. So communicate, shoot them at the same time. That's going to lower the barrier for this orb. In this case, obviously, in every situation, it's going to do something a little bit different. It can maybe lower down a shield or something. You're going to throw the orb basically at the door, just kind of like we normally do in the main mission, and we're going to progress through the mission. Now, at this point, when we get to this area here where we're climbing the mountain, we're going to have this new mechanic called Fractured by the Witness, which you can see at the top middle of my screen. Once that gets to 10, it's going to wipe you. So what you got to do is basically communicate with your teammate, and you got to juggle it back and forth. The problem is, once your teammate takes it, you have a recovery period that lasts about 8 to 9 of these kind of fractured seconds, if you will, right? Not real seconds, but like you've seen the buff on screen was like, you know, 1, 2, 3, like those. So you want to, if you're duoing this, you want to kind of switch back and forth between 8 and 9, 8.5, you know, roughly, because again, you have that recovery period you see on the left side of the screen. If you have 3 people, you can switch every 6 or 7 seconds. Now, when you get to 7 seconds fractured, by the way, you're not going to be able to double jump. So do keep that in mind. Your jump's going to be limited. So, you want to plan that out, especially if you're only doing this 2-player. So make sure you're communicating, you know, alternate back and forth. If you both die, it's not going to wipe you unless it's a respawn zone. It's just going to be one of you is going to get basically the buff when you both respawn. By the way, this section right here, make sure you guys claim that prismatic chest. I figured I'd throw that in here because it is in the story mission. It doesn't have to be in this specific difficulty, but I missed it on my first playthrough, so we'll talk about that in a different video. Once you get to the very end of the mission, this is going to be the boss room. You're going to shoot this little thing in the middle in order to start it. The reason we didn't start it right away is because my teammate's fracture was actually, you know, fairly high, so we just waited. So in certain circumstances like that, just wait before you kind of, you know, proceed in what you're doing. Again, at some point, you're gonna get the boss health down to half. You're gonna clear all the ads in the room. A berserker is gonna spawn. You're gonna do exactly what I mentioned earlier. You're gonna shoot it in the front and the back when it does this little thing, when it, you know, kind of puts its bubble up. Once you do that, there's going to be 2 switches on either side of the room. You can see the one right there. The second one's going to be on the other side over here. Again, you're going to communicate to synchronize your shot, shoot the switches roughly at the same time. And what that's going to do is going to lower the barrier over here on the kind of dark taken orb. So you can shoot it at these doorways on the right and left side, just like you did in the main campaign mission. You're going to go in here and you're going to clear these out. Now, what's important with this is a new mechanic where you can see that I cannot see when we kill the wyvern, I cannot see the glyph. My teammate can. So again, important to communicate because you're gonna need to know, like, okay, well, what is it? I can't see it. Do you see it? Yes. What is the symbol? Do the same thing. Repeat it on the left side over here. And once you do both sides, you're gonna again be able to get the glyph. So again, you can see I can't see it, but when I go outside, when they actually appear out here, I can see the ones that we have to pick up. Then they show up for me because I'm glyph touched. But I don't think my teammate was able to see it. So my teammate was able to see the ones from the wyvern falling, but I was able to see the ones that I actually had to pick up afterwards. So keep that in mind. Once you've picked up both of the correct symbols, the shield of the boss is going to go down. You're going to wipe the boss out, and that's going to be the end of the first of the 3 missions, Ascent, and we can continue on to the second. So for the second mission, we're going to be going into Dissent, I believe it was, the second one. And it's not too bad. Again, keep in mind all the mechanics that I mentioned in the very first mission. If you skipped through that section, just go listen to it again. I'm going to briefly re-explain it, but not as in much detail. So you're going to get the Fracture of the Witness when you get to this section right here. Again, once you get to 8 or 9, if you're only 2-player, you're going to be wanting to bounce back and forth. When you get to 7, you're not going to be able to double jump. So again, you got to communicate that. Once you get to this section over here, you're going to find a Berserker. Again, you're going to want to basically get close enough where it activates this sort of shield thing, and then back up out of that bubble. One person's going to shoot it in the back, one person's going to shoot it in the front. You're going to destroy it. Then it's going to activate these switches right here. You can see where the other switch is, kind of where it's pointing there. So my teammate's going to go down there. You just see the general direction where it's the kind of orange is pointing. You're going to shoot the switches together to synchronize them, and you're going to continue through the mission. Once you get to this section here, it's going to be rinse and repeat, basically. There's 3 sections here. You've seen there's 3 switches covered in orange bubbles there. You're going to pick your side first. We're going on the left side first just because we wanted to. Kill the witches and all the ads, or the witch and all the ads. There's going to be a Berserker. Again, you're going to kill the Berserker, as I just mentioned. There's a switch in this room, and then there's a switch in the middle room. There's going to be some ads to spawn. Just clear them out. You're going to synchronize the switch shots again, and you're going to rinse and repeat for the middle room and the right room, the left room, all 3 rooms. I'm not going to show you guys all the gameplay. It's kind of, pointless to show you guys, a little bit redundant, so I'm not going to do that. Just rinse and repeat exactly what I just did with the first room, and you're good to go. Once you progress through the mission, you're going to get to the boss here at the end, and if you remember how to do this, there's going to be subjugators in the back left corner and the front kind of bottom right corner. You're just going to go in there, clear out the ads, kill the subjugators. Very easy stuff. Again, just exactly like the normal campaign mission, but there's going to be something that's going to be a little bit different this time once you've completed killing both of these subjugators. Once you've killed both subjugators, you are going to get the Aegis, however you want to pronounce it. I don't even know the right way to pronounce it. The shield, the light shield that's going to spawn in the middle, but only one person's going to be able to pick it up. In the gameplay you see up on screen, you see that I am granted at the top middle of my screen. It says I am granted Aegis, or Aegis, how you pronounce it. So that means I'm the only one who can pick this up. So I got to go pick up this light shield. I got to charge it up to a super, just like I did in the main campaign, and then we're going to be firing it over at this boss to get its shield down. We're going to do damage until it gets down to half health. It's going to put its shield back up. We're going to rinse and repeat. We're going to go kill the subjugators again. Someone's going to be granted Aegis, however you want to pronounce it. That person's going to grab the shield. We're going to get the boss's shield down. We're going to rinse and repeat for the second time, kill the boss, and that's pretty much that. Now this is a section where you basically got to kind of run. It's kind of like the escape section after you kill the boss, right? You're still fractured by the witness, so make sure you keep communicating that and plan this out accordingly, because if you don't, things are going to go bad, especially if you get that ×7 and you can't double jump. That could be bad. Can we just get a quick little props for that save there? My teammate just so happened to basically mantle up right there, and I just so happened to strand up. We could have both basically died at the exact same time, but I thought that was a cool clutch. Again, you've seen that we kind of swapped out the Fracture of the Witness right there. Once we make it to the end, that's it. The mission's over. So that is this mission complete. That's number 2 down, and we're going to the third one, which you might be worried is going to be the harder one. It's actually not that bad, trust me. We're going to go into it. We're going to complete that one as well, so let's do that right now. All right, so for the third and final one, Iconoclasm or Clasm, whatever it's called, we're going to be basically proceeding as we normally do in this mission. Everything's going to be pretty much the same for the most part, but I do want to show you this really quick because it's funny. That Tormentor just catapulting out of here. I don't know what happened, but I thought it was funny and I had to include that clip. Okay, anyways, we're going to be continuing this as per usual. Once we get to this section here, you can see there's a switch in a bubble that I just walked by. At the very bottom here, there's going to be a Berserker that's going to spawn again. Most of it's going to be the same mechanics as I just mentioned. You're going to wait for the Berserker to kind of do its little thing. You get it close enough to, activate it. You're going to back up. You're going to shoot its front, shoot its back, destroy it. Again, check out the Ascent section. I went a little bit more in depth with all of these mechanics. I'm just kind of reiterating for the most part. There are some differences and new things in this mission, but I'm just kind of re-going over these sections really quick as well. Activate these two switches. You can see where they're located at the top and at the bottom. Once we get to this section here, things are going to be a little bit different. So we're going to be doing this part of the kind of, it's like a boss fight. As per usual, clear out all the ads and stuff. Once we clear out all the initial ads, eventually there's going to spawn a Berserker. So again, we're going to shoot the front, shoot the back, to make it vulnerable. And then we're going to be able to go ahead and do damage on it, kill it. Once we kill it, there's going to be two switches. They're going to be kind of like in the middle section on the outsides, on the like kind of little hanging things here. Shoot, synchronize them, shoot them at the exact same time. This little orb in the middle is going to spawn that you're going to have to shoot to activate the next section of the fight. Normally in here, you can shoot this thing and then you can go down here. Except only one person gets to do that, and it was not me. You can see that I'm glyph touched. I cannot go down there, but my teammate can. So my teammate's going to activate that buff and be able to go down there, and I'm not. Again, you can see that I'm trying. My teammate drops down. The shield's still there for me. I cannot go down there. So you're going to have to communicate very well. I'm going to show you footage of what it looks like down there. Just so you can see, both sides of it. And I'm not just kind of explaining it if you are a visual learner such as myself. So we're going to go down here. This footage of me going down, and there's going to be two giant knights. There's going to be a bunch of like other ads as well. That's not the knight. That's just a Minotaur. There's going to be two giant knights you're going to have to destroy. This is one of them. And when you destroy each one, there's going to be a glyph that drops. Okay, there's going to be a glyph symbol rather. And you're going to have to communicate that to your teammate who is above. They're going to need to know both symbols. So you can see, for example, right here, this one was what I would call fleet. And so I'm going to communicate that with my teammate. I'm going to make sure that I have the shielded from darkness buff as well, that it's located in the corners. And this is what it looks like if you're up top. So you're going to see the glyphs kind of spawn up here. Basically go run into the two glyphs that your teammate below called, and that's going to basically spawn a portal for them down below, where they can now go through that portal and come back to you up top to do the boss damage and kind of finish off this section. So that's how that works. Again, once those two glyphs are obtained, the person down below is going to be able to go through that portal. The portal is going to show up. So destroy the boss, and that's going to be the end of this section. We can continue on with this mission. All right. Moving on forward, when we get to this section here, going to be kind of similar to what I just explained. We're going to be doing exactly what we normally do in the normal campaign mission for the most part. Clear out these blights, clear out these ads. Of course, they're prismatic shielded, so you're going to have to use prismatic on them to get rid of them and all that good stuff. And once you get rid of them, only one person is going to be able to go into the thing. So you're going to shoot that little thing in the middle, and then there's the buff. Make sure you get the buff. Whoever's not glyph touched is going to be able to go down, and nobody else. So if you're not glyph touched, then you can go down. Again, it's only going to be one person that's allowed to go down here. In the bottom corners, again, you can see there's like those darkness, shielded from darkness kind of buffs that you're going to want to get. And you're looking for those knights. The knight that just snuck up on behind me and killed me. So it's just like in the previous section, you're looking for those two knights. When you kill them, they're going to drop a symbol. You're going to communicate what the symbol is to the person up above. Again, you can see in this section, I'm not able to go through, but my teammate is going to be able to go through, and I'm glyph touched. That means I'm going to be the one that's going to be getting the glyphs up here. I can see the glyphs, at least in this run. I'm actually going to be switching to a different run because we failed this run, and you're going to see that we got a third teammate in the other run. But it's also worth noting that if you're the person upstairs, you're also going to see that there's going to be this tormentor that spawns in at some point. You don't have to really kill him. If you don't pop his shoulders, he's super slow anyways. If you can solo kill him, great. If you rather wait till your teammate gets back, or teammates, if you have 2 or 3 persons, then yeah, just you can just kind of lure him around. So you can see that I can see the glyphs, but I'm not glyph touched in this run of our gameplay. Our third teammate was, so he's going to be the one that's going to have to get them because I can't see what the symbols are. I can only see the glyphs without the symbols. So again, lots of communication in these things. Once you get the 2 glyphs, your teammate down below is going to be able to come back up as well, by the way. Someone's going to be be granted Aegis, whatever it's called, similar to the second mission, if you paid attention during that section of this video. If not, well, I'll kind of reiterate. At the bottom, or not bottom, at the top middle of your screen, as you see on the screen right now, for me, it'll say granted Aegis, or Aegis, how you pronounce it, and that person only is going to be able to grab that shield. You wait till the super's filled, you're going to super the boss to get its shield down, and then you're going to basically damage it. Once it gets to half health, you're going to rinse and repeat what I basically just said. Someone's going to go down below, get the glyphs, yada yada. You're going to rinse and repeat everything I basically just said a second time, and then destroy it. We're going to move on with the mission. Once we get to this section here where the war beast is, just kind of a little side note for a prismatic chest if you want it. If you head to the left of the war beast area and kind of climb right here into this little kind of corridor, very tight corridor. Hopefully you're not claustrophobic. If you kind of make your way through here, there's a prismatic chest here I wanted to kind of quickly mention. I want to hopefully make a full prismatic guide, but for now, we'll leave it at that. Once we get to the final boss, the boss fight against the Witness, at least the first boss fight, obviously the big one's going to be in the raid. It's going to be very similar to the normal campaign mission. Thankfully, there's no Fractured by the Witness, so that would make this a lot more tricky. What is going to change is when we go into these back rooms where we normally get the shield, the light shield, the Aegis, whatever you want to call it. 2 people are going to have to go back there, at least 2 people, because there's a berserker back there. So we're going to have to shoot the berserker. Do the damage against the berserker. Again, you got to shoot it in the front, shoot it in the back at the same time, and basically that's going to lower its shield. You're going to do damage. You can see that one of the switches is out here to the right back of the kind of pillar where the Witness initially spawns in, and then the other switch is inside. Again, you're going to synchronize with a teammate, shoot him at the exact same time. It takes a second for it to disappear. Whoever's still inside, you can go grab the Aegis, whatever you call it. No one's going to be granted it in this section, thankfully, so it's going to make it a little easier. If you do have it and you're trying to get out like me, make sure you drop it so you can shoot the buff. You can't actually hit it with the Aegis, whatever it's called. You're going to go ahead. You're going to obviously super the subjugator as you would in the normal campaign mission. You're going to shield yourself from the incoming storm from the Witness or whatever. Until that's done, you're going to, obviously knock out the subjugator. You can do everything like you did in the normal campaign mission. Then you're going to rinse and repeat, but on the opposite side. So it's going to be on the right side this time. We're going to be going in, again, berserker, kill the berserker. You're going to have to shoot the switch in synchronization and all that good stuff. Again, it's basically rinse and repeat. Once you get to the very end, again, it's just basically the exact same thing as the normal mission. You escape, you get out of there. Once you get out of there, it's going to update your quest that you are done the Convalescence Budding section. You're going to go back to the Lost City. So we're going to go there, and we're going to go head back to the very, very back section over here again to see the hollow projector, which we're going to interact with, and we're going to see that we are able to now pick up our brand new exotic, the Microcosm, which again is a lot of fun. It's a very interesting and unique heavy weapon, especially the fact that it is kinetic, and it's going to be a lot of fun to use. So hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, it's a very, very long one. Lots to go through. I know it's a very lengthy one, but if you did enjoy it, if it did help you, please do consider leaving a like. It was a very, very lengthy video to make between getting all the footage, of course, editing the footage and, commentating this, and hopefully making it as helpful as possible for you guys. So consider that, subscribe for more, and let me know what you guys think of the Microcosm, and if you have any questions down in the comments. Until the next one, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.
Hey you! What are you doing? Join the Skeleton Army! Do it today! Don't wait till tomorrow because tomorrow might never come. The Earth is gonna fade, that's inevitable. The next second of your life's not even promised, so you better think about where you're going, and you might as well just join the Skeleton Army. Plus, we do kinda like you a little bit, so it'd be nice to see you around here. But if you don't want to, hey, your loss. See you later!